I got your back legally. I got your back with policy and protection, but I don't want you to show up to work. Just so this country can see that their tropes and stereotypes are detrimental to the success of our communities, of this nation. So they can just see a moment in time of what the reality is versus the propaganda, of what the truth is versus dishonesty, of what love doesn't look like. And so I'll leave you with this. I'm one, but I am mighty, and I am powerful, and I am emotional, and I'm a woman, and I'm a mother, and I'm a Latina, and I'm a director, and I'm a Senate Majority Leader, but I'm a Norker. My dad chose to come here different than the experiences of people, not with obstacles like other counterparts have had. His friends who were not of American citizenry had a pathway. How can you punish someone for doing what's not right when there is no direction to say go here because this is what's right? And so I lean on my federal partners who are here and those who have made statements. I stand locked in arms with our mayor, who always has understood that human capacity is much greater than anything else, with my colleagues in the legislature to get this bill posted and passed and on the governor's desk. Thank you.
So I'm glad that Teresa got emotional so that I can have a little bit more time. Obviously, I was born and raised in the East Ward, and I joke with the mayor all the time and a lot of the council colleagues. I know you all are jealous that you're not from there. But what makes the East Ward so special is the strong immigrant community that we've always had. When my parents came here, they were lucky. My aunt was here years before, and my aunt did a letter of calling for my dad. Or else, Mayor, when I would be born here, I wouldn't have been a citizen, according to our new president. This country gives the opportunity that nowhere else you have the opportunity. If you work hard, really hard, you can make a living. If you work really hard and you make sure that your kids go to school, who knows, you might end up being in the state legislature. You might even be able to run for something else one day. But the thing is that our children, as Senator Ruiz said, are not the culpable ones. They shouldn't be going to school in fear. 50% of appointments that are made at some of our FQHCs since yesterday to today have had cancellations. We need to make sure that our neighbors understand that they are fearful, and that's okay. But we cannot live in fear. We have to help them, and we are here to support them. I live in the Ironbound. I know where my neighbors are. I don't ask them for paperwork when I say hello to them or good morning or how are they. And when I moved into the new street, no one asked me if I had paperwork, but they all came to say hello to us. And that's what we're about. We're about neighborhood, community, and making sure that we're good. So I stand here in support of the mayor and our Congress delegation, and we know that we have work to do at the state level. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And I'm not going to cry either, but one thing I have to say is the mayor does not take long to take action when it comes to anything happening here in our city. And Mayor, I appreciate you for the action that you took the day after with less than 24 hours. And we know that we cannot do this without you. Today, I stand here with the mayor in our city in firm opposition to ICE raids. Their actions not only tear families apart, but also sow fear in our community. We will advocate and continue to show love to each other and every resident, regardless of your race, color, or creed. And I know I'm not in church, but one thing we'll say in church, look to your neighbor and say, I love you. Or look to, and you're sitting next to a brother or a sister. Guess what? We don't have to bleed and look the same exact way, but we are here today as brothers and sisters in support of our brothers and sisters. It's not them against us. It's not them against us. It's all of us together. And with the leadership of our mayor, we know that ICE have messed with the wrong city. He will not stand down. And Mayor, thank you so much for your leadership. We will continue to support anything that you need to do when it comes to getting ICE out of our city. You definitely have my support. Thank you so much.
I'd just like to let them know you have our support. And one thing about it, we have a bill in the Assembly and in the Senate. We're going to pass that bill because you have three in the Assembly. We're not just the average people in the Assembly. We're called the hell raisers in the Assembly. And we have our Senate. That's another hell raiser. So we have to let you know that Essex County, we got your back. We're going to do everything possible. We're going to get this bill passed. And we're just here to say that we're going to just work as hard as we can just to let them know what New Jersey can do and what the city of Newark can do. Thank you.
Thank you. La Casa de Don Pedro CEO, Peter Rosario. There you go, right behind me. You stand up here.
And I'm going to ask Hazel and Craig Maynard to join me. And we're at a time where we need each other, so we're going to stand together. And the majority leader asked a question. I unfortunately have the answer. At 7:15 this morning, a lifelong Black Newarker texts her supervisor to say, please make sure you have this number and call them if I'm detained. Because in Newark, we know that it's not one person's problem. It's all 300,000+ of our problems. We did a training in schools, and we had to debate with 3- and 4-year-olds and infants and toddlers what the code was going to be. Is this going to be an active shooter code? Is this going to be a shelter-in-place code? What are we going to do? Will they leave their guns in the lobby, or will they bring their guns with them into our classrooms? These are the real questions that we as providers, we are not politicians. Our arena is service and the community. But we know that here are elected officials. I've been blessed to be a leader and a nonprofit leader in a lot of different places. And you have to tell the elected officials about your organization. In this city, they tell me about the legacy of La Casa de Don Pedro, about the legacy of ICC, about the legacy of UCC, because all of our organizations were founded by our elders in the time of community rebellion, and we are here to stay. You will see flyers, Know Your Rights, that we borrowed from Amy, and each one helps one. We've already told 3 school districts, just cut La Casa de Don Pedro off the top, put your school district label on it. Same thing across the country. Feel free to go to lacasadonpedro.org, Know Your Rights. The flyer is in 7 languages. We will be producing more languages. And we want people to know that there is a 4th Amendment. They have rights. I will say a few words in Spanish before I turn it over to my colleague Hazel. Para la comunidad, queremos dejarles saber que hay derechos.
I just think that come on. Oh, let me skip the ad. Sorry about that. This is the New York mayor talking about the raid.
It's not you. Well, it is
Talking
you.
about the raid.
Compañeros y compañeras, darle la información y estar seguro que nosotros vamos a estar con ellos y que todo el mundo vamos a sobrevivir esto. Porque siempre nosotros sabemos las palabras de Celia Cruz.
Why he's speaking in Spanish? This is about the raid. The people are not going to work. The streets are empty. Kids are not going to school. ICE is hitting the New York hard.
Line in a song, azúcar, sugar, but it was really a mantra and a rallying cry for Latinos to remember that no matter how much you other us, no matter how much you make fun of our accents, the color of our skin, or who we are, we will bring sweetness, we will bring love, we will bring passion, and we are building the American dream every day in this country. Thank you.
Thank you. Hazel Applewhite, CEO for Ironbound Community Corporation. As I woke up this morning, I woke up as an immigrant, right? And as I left my house this morning, actually, my husband said to me, "You ain't never left this house this fast before. And you're just like speeding out of this house." And I said, "Yeah, because this is personal to me, right? It is very personal. I was born in another country. My parents are from another country. My grandmother is from another country. My uncles and aunts are another country. And they all walked, right, this journey of being an immigrant in this country. It's heartbreaking. Ironbound Community Corporation is located in the Ironbound section of Newark. And like my other colleagues here, right, we provide a lot of services to the community. And it's very important that we spread the word and have the community understand that we are here for them, whether it's around knowing your rights, whether it's around services. Communities should not be afraid to leave their home. But by any chance you have a community member that don't want to leave their home, we're going to come to their home. Yeah. We are going to come because no one, absolutely no one should be without food, going through mental health issues. Do you understand the trauma that families go through? You heard my colleagues and elected officials talk about the journey of coming to America and why some of these folks have actually came because of the trauma they're facing within their countries. And now to be faced with more trauma? Think about the mental trauma that they're having right now within their home. We're doing Know Your Rights trainings. We're doing food distribution. We're doing mental health services. If you need someone just to chat to, my staff is there. If you just need, your kid to be brought to school, because another thing we have to think about, our children are the future. And when you have your kids staying home, remember COVID. After COVID, our kids came back and let's take a look at the literacy rate. Could you imagine now the impact of parents being afraid to take their kids to school? That's another setback for our future. And at the end of the day, I'm going to retire, and most of us around here are going to retire, but our kids are going to move forward, each and every one of us legacy. So it is very important that we understand the impact that this have on our children. So I am asking and pleading everyone to let's bind together. I love Amy's organization. We've been working with them on a Know Your Rights training. They were at our office, many times talking to us. As a team, I would say La Casa and myself, we've been preparing for this for a very long time. And folks who told us that it wasn't coming, we just looked at them like, I can't convince you that this is coming, but I'm going to be prepared when it's come. So let's bind together. Let's understand where the resources is, and let's ensure our community understand what their rights are. That's very important. You have rights as a citizen, as a non-citizen, as someone who lives, works, and brings money into our economy. You do have a right. As a human, you have a right. Let's take away all the politics. Just as a human right, you have a right as a human. We don't want that. That's not what we are about as people. That's not what we're about. We're about caring about one another, binding together, resolving issues together. We don't have to agree about everything, right? But let's agree about one thing. We want to treat each and every one, and we want to be treated as humans. So visit our website, ironboundcc.org. Spread the word that Ironbound is definitely here, and we stand in solidarity with our elected officials and the mayor of our wonderful, wonderful city. Thank you.
Yeah, so I am nervous. I'm nervous for this community. I want to thank Peter for giving me chills, because you pointed out that we're also dealing with in school shooting. But now what happens when the child goes to a school? They're supposed to be safe, right? We're supposed to nurture them, educate them, but now they're afraid. Maybe they're afraid of going home and nobody's home because ICE came there. And that's a problem. When your policy creates fear, and that's exactly what that policy is for. They're getting rid of DEI. Why? That was supposed to be a promise that we all have the equal footing. And so I stand with the mayor. UCC stands for this community, and we're going to be open and we're going to be ready to help those communities that need us most. Thank you.
We almost there, y'all. We almost there. So want to bring up the Municipal Council President, C. Lawrence Crump, councilman, from the East Ward, Mike Silver, and I know we have some other council in the audience. If you want to come up, please, while they're here.
Okay, I'm going to allow that to play in the background, and I will put a link for it. I'm gonna put a link. I want you guys to listen to what Tom Hallman, which is the ICE director, what he just said directly on camera to Denver's mayor, which this is New York's mayor. I'm gonna let y'all hear him, and then I'm gonna give you my opinion. Let me go ahead and stop sharing this. I will put the link to that for you guys can listen to it. But let me share this. You guys need to hear this. I want you guys to hear this. This is not my political channel, but it came on and I had to hurry up, and I wanted to put it in for you guys. But let me let you hear what Tom has to say. Hold on. I think I'm out the okay. Hold on. Here we go. Get through this commercial. Okay, listen to this. Okay, hold on. I gotta share that screen. When I shared these things, boy, I tell you. Oh, Denver Mayor. This one. Okay, let me go ahead and share it.
Along with someone who, frankly, has played a very big role in bringing attention to this security disaster, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, and they're going to be together all day tomorrow. Tom, you heard this mayor out there in
Colorado.
I want to get your reaction to it. And I want you to be clear about who has jurisdiction, the federal government or state and local governments.
Listen.
And if you're a sanctuary state or city, are you breaking the law?
You're absolutely breaking law. All you have to do is look at Arizona versus U.S. You'll see these breaking law. But look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail. Because there's a statute. It's Title 8 United States Code 1324 III. And what it says is, it's a felony if you knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. It's also a felony to impede a federal law enforcement officer. So if we don't want to help, that's fine. He can get the hell out of the way. But we're going to go do the job. President Trump has a mandate for American people. We got to secure this country. We got to save American lives. And I find it shocking that any mayor of a city would say, President Trump's been clear. We want to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. I find it hard to believe that any mayor or governor would say they don't want public safety threats removed from their neighborhoods. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on in Denver, but we're going to go and we're going to fix it. If you don't want to fix it, if you don't want to protect his communities, President Trump and ICE will.
So you will be going into Colorado, Illinois, New York, California, and you are going to uphold the law of the land. That's your commitment. It doesn't matter what these elected politicians threaten or say that they're going to do.
We're going to enforce the law, period. And they're not going to stop us.
You know, Governor Abbott, I watched you with great frustration do everything imaginable in your power, come up with idea after idea after idea, because you were bearing the brunt of this from the very beginning. And you tried to put up barriers in the beginning, and then you tried to work the courts in the beginning. Then you started flying people out of your state to the sanctuary cities and states. And then all of a sudden, people like Mayor Eric Adams, to his credit, he finally got there, realized maybe this is not such a good idea, wide open borders, because we can't control what's going on here. How frustrating has that been for you?
Well, listen, it's very frustrating when we have a country and a president and an administration that are fighting back against the law, inviting all this illegal immigration into our country, bringing those people in who are committing those rapes, those murders, and crushing families across the entire country. So I'm thankful that we finally have a president, President Trump, who's going to enforce the laws of the United States of America. I'm thankful that we have Tom Homan as the incoming border czar, who's going to help execute those laws and enforce those laws and make sure that we get back to restoring.
Okay, let's pause this really quick. What I'm trying to hone into for you guys to understand. We just was looking at New York. New York mayor is upset. People not going to school. People are not doing, nobody's on the roads. And who you were just looking at, this is the governor of Texas. This particular guy is the governor of Texas. This is the director of ICE, Tom Homan. He's the director of ICE. I'm going to play back again. This is the rhetoric that the mayors and the states, the governors that are fighting back, this is what they need to understand. Either you're going to get along, this is allegedly, but you can hear what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying.
Order. But also,
we're going to go do the job before III really breaking law. All you have to do is look at Arizona versus U.S. You'll see these breaking laws.
Sanctuary state or city, are you breaking the law?
You're absolutely breaking law. All you have to do is look at Arizona versus U.S. You'll see these breaking law. But look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail. Because there's a statute, it's Title 8 United States Code 1324 III, and what it says is, it's a felony if you knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. It's also a felony to impede a federal law enforcement officer. So if we don't want to help, that's fine. He can get the hell out of the way. But we're going to go do the job. President Trump has a mandate for American people. We got to secure this country.
Okay, the one you see smiling, Abbott, the governor of Texas. One thing you need to know, most states, you only have a governor for 2 consecutive terms or 2 non-consecutive terms. There are some states that have governors and mayors that there's no limit to how many times you can run. And Texas, is one of those states. The problem is what people are not understanding. This guy here, he's not playing. ICE is not playing. And when you get, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing. When you get back to what's going on here in New York, people are scared to go to schools. People are scared to go to work. And this is New York right here. I'm just playing it in the background. They are telling people they have the rights, but what people have to understand. Okay, if you don't send your child to school, that's gonna alert ICE. That's going to alert because they have the ability to go. Trump is giving them the ability to go into schools. To schools. There is no stopping. And one attorney stated yesterday, I put it on my other, I'm going to go and link this. I have Elections, Vibes, and Beyond. That's my political channel. What everybody has to understand, even governors, mayors, whatever state that will not participate or either get in the way of the ICE director, Tom Homan, I can see, and this is my opinion, I can see Trump coming out, and he's already stated when it came to these school situations, at first he was for schools, now he's stating that their endowment will be penalized. If a state don't get on board, this is my opinion, Trump will probably ding them because the money for states come from federal government. You guys better hold on. Don't be surprised if you see ICE in your neighborhood. Don't be surprised if you see ICE in your neighborhood. I am going to link this live. I want to send a shout out again to Fox. Fox is not one of my particular sources that I like to use, but hey, I'm not biased. Wherever it is, that's where I'm gonna go. But all I'm stating is that I just wish that these different mayors and things would not give these people false hope, stating that the law is this, the law is that. If you're over here, excuse me, and you're not documented, while you're stating that they have rights, and this is my opinion, ICE is going to pick them up and take them in the system and process them and do everything while unless the mayor is going to take the children or whatever and help them. I don't know what they are going to do, but I just hope that they don't give people a false sense of hope. That's my opinion. That's not meaning that's, maybe they have a plan, but from my knowledge of ICE, and I'm going to go into my personal business a little bit. I was married to an immigrant. Didn't know a lot about green cards or anything when I first got married. I was young and dumb. Young and dumb. But I learned very quickly, and this was almost 30 years ago. Almost 30 years ago. That immigration, even back then, they did not play. They did not play. They will vet your marriage. They will put you in separate rooms. They will ask you questions to see if it's for real or not. And now 30 years forward, so take it from me. I have dealt with immigration. Never had to deal with ICE. But I know people who have. And all I can say is God be with all of us, because at the end of the day, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And that's my opinion. I just want to thank you guys for listening to me. I will put a link where you can click if you want to hear anything that's going on with what raids are happening. I will have live, if they're showing it live, the raids, I will put it on there for you guys. I'm still building the channel. So just follow me on Election Vibes and Beyond, and I will have the description box. In the description box, you can click the link. But just don't be surprised if you see ICE in your neighborhood. Even as citizens, if they come to our door, it's scary. It's scary because at this point in time in life, we don't know who they're looking at. We're American citizens. But I mean, I'm not sure if you guys have even heard about the situation where Trump is trying to allegedly overturn this law that's been in place for decades about when you are born in America. And I talk about it more on my channel. When you're born in America and your parents are not documented, they're trying to roll that back. So if your parents are not documented, and if they can pass that law, you're not documented. It doesn't matter if you was born in the United States or not. So I'm going to go ahead and head out. I just wanted to, I have a couple of things to do today. I want to say happy Friday, but it's getting serious, folks. It's getting serious. People are being swept up, and the man said it himself. He can either, he's like he said about the mayor can either go to jail or he can get out the way. And he's not playing. He's the ICE director. Whatever he wants, Trump is giving it to him. So these mayors, these governors, it's good for you to stand up and fight for your state, but you got to think about the other people that are also in your state, that if you fight and you go against the grain, you get a lot of funding from the federal government. And this is my opinion. So this is a sticky situation. I'm going to go ahead and stop this live, and you guys have a great day. My heart, my soul, and my prayers go out to all the different states, go out to the nonviolent immigrants. And it's going down because Trump is also going allegedly after the cartel. So let's see. You guys have a good day. Peace and soul. Mwah.